Hello, I'm Robert Sims, a partner in the dispute resolution team at Harrington Carmichael. Welcome to January 2018 and our update for credit professionals and SMEs. The topic of interest today is use of insolvency as a recovery tool. Strictly speaking, insolvency is not a debt collection tool, and the courts can criticise parties who use it in that way. That said, our experience is that it remains one of the most effective ways of recovery from a debtor who is solvent but unwilling to pay their debts. If you want to be paid, speed and timing are critical in debt recovery, and considering the 5 points that I set out in this blog, we should help speed up the process to help you decide whether insolvency is the right route to choose for recovery. Firstly, is the amount due a debt? Now, that may well sound strange, but it is important because a statute of demand, which is the first step in bankruptcy proceedings, can only be served in respect of what's called a liquidated debt. Now, a liquidated debt is a debt for a specific amount which has been fully and finally ascertained. That could be a judgment, or classically, an invoice for goods or services. But it won't work if your claim is for damages for breach of contract, which you have then converted into an invoice. That is, of course, unless you have a contractual liquidated damages clause in your terms and conditions. Now, in respect of what you can issue for, an individual has to owe a debt of at least £5,000 or more, which is payable immediately. It used to be £750. A company still has to owe only £750 or more to be vulnerable to somebody issuing a winding up petition. Secondly, is the amount due now? Be certain that the amount is actually due and payable. Now, unless your terms and conditions provide that all invoices, regardless of age, will fall due in the event of late payment, then you can only rely on those invoices where your customer is outside your credit terms. It does happen from time to time that we are still instructed to recover invoices that are not overdue. That's something to bear in mind. Thirdly, can you add interest or compensation for late payment? Have you got a contractual remedy for late payment in your terms? If not, or the remedy is not substantial, then you may be able to rely on the late payment legislation to demand compensation and interest on the unpaid debt at 8% above the Bank of England base rate. It's a very healthy interest rate. Fourthly, and this relates to claims against individuals, do you have any other security with them? If, say, for example, you have already obtained judgment and then obtained a charging order against a debtor, then that is a security which you will need to be prepared to give up in the event that a bankruptcy order is made. Otherwise, you will need to accept that you cannot make a claim in respect of the secured part of the debt. Now, fifthly and finally, remember that not only are insolvency proceedings quite expensive, but you may be incurring costs which may benefit other creditors. This is because insolvency proceedings are a class action, which is for the benefit of all creditors. Just because you are first to issue a bankruptcy petition or a winding up petition and an order is made on the back of that petition, it does not follow that you will be at the front of the line when it comes to payment. You may get your costs back, but your debt will only rank equally with the debtor's other unsecured creditors. Once the company is wound up or an individual is made bankrupt, you cannot expect to benefit from the insolvency to the detriment of another unsecured creditor. If you have any other queries in relation to debt recovery or insolvency proceedings, please do contact us. Thank you.